So like I said, there's really not much coaching to that.
Oh my god, I couldn't actually get it right there.
Okay, buddy.
Drop down.
Falls from the freaking roof. All right. Pro player, by the way. Hey, to you guys, and today we're going to be doing another episode of Apex Analyze, where you guys send me in gameplay and I show you guys how to get better. In this episode, we're going to be covering yet another pro player. This is going to be Rogue Dropped. He plays a Pathfinder in this Twitch Rivals game. If you guys didn't see my other Apex Analyze video where I covered NRG's Dizzy, where he was playing in Twitch Rivals Solo Showdown, you guys can definitely check that out. Link will be in the description below to it. So without further ado, let's just jump right into this. So Sweet will be playing a Rave, Dropped will be playing a Pathfinder, and Huskers will be playing a Watson. This is a team comp that we've seen multiple times, especially during the ESPN EXP Invitational, where I covered an entire video on what the usage rates for each character was. If you guys want to check that video out, I will have it also linked in the description below. And I will also probably be doing yet another pro Apex Analyze video when the Poland season or the Poland Invitational drops, and we kind of see what happens there. Okay, to catch you up on what has happened within the gameplay already. Rogue dropped Skull Town and they were completely free to loot whatever they wanted, and then they automatically rotated Thunderdome. And that's a really common thing that you guys kind of see, is whenever somebody lands Skull Town, they automatically rotate Thunderdome, because if somebody rotates into Thunderdome from Skull Town, you could either third party or just kill the people who landed Thunderdome. Luckily or non-luckily, however you look at it, Rogue found nobody in Thunderdome, so it was completely free for them to loot up. And they already saw that the zone was going to be on this side of the map. And usually when this happens, we have an airbase, a gauntlet, or a Thunderdome ending. Or even maybe a Skull Town, but it's super rare to find a Skull Town. Usually it never happens. But if I'm looking at this, usually I would think maybe a gauntlet. Airbase would be out of this, especially once they just hit their ping. So this is what Pathfinder came down here to do. He hit the ping, and this is the next circle. So now airbase is out of the question. Skull Town, we're just gonna mark that like completely out of the question, because usually never land Skull Town or end Skull Town, I mean. And Thunderdome Gauntlet and Thunderdome are going to be our two picks of where the zone can finally end. And either we could stay in Thunderdome and just keep Skybox, which is the middle building that's up in the air, or we could go Thunderdome or Gauntlet. Sorry, I keep on saying Thunderdome. There's really no reason to rotate over to Gauntlet, because it more or less ends in Thunderdome then Gauntlet. So might as well just stay in Thunderdome if you have not only area control, but you're already there. So there's really no reason to rotate, but I really just want to show that, and like why he came from, or why he landed Skull Town and then eventually came to Thunderdome, hit the ping, and now they're just gonna play their position and where they are.
Yeah, they're up here.
Yep, they're up. I'm taking her.
So as you can hear by their communication, they said that they're up, and everybody on Rogue is playing high ground, and that's a really smart move as a Pathfinder. If you take that zip line, you're automatically going to be on the first floor of this skybox. If you can just grapple up onto the roof, you automatically have high ground, and that's what Rogue is really holding, because if you have high ground, you can just shoot through the floor of the ceiling, and just shoot down on who's ever on the first floor. And this is also a really smart idea to have like two people up top and one person on the bottom, so the one person on the bottom can control these two little zip lines that go straight up, and that's a little bit harder to see. If you had basically three people on the roof, it's a little bit harder to see those two zip lines that go straight up into the first build, or the first floor. Rogue knows that there's only two people over there, and I don't know why that Wraith is pushing at all, but Rogue isn't going to give up the position. They have high ground. They already know where these guys are, and they have to push them. So there's no reason for Rogue to give up their positioning, and they can look over to the side and see this building too. And they already know that TSM and Sentinels are fighting right now. So Dropped is just going to put down some wingman shots, do 45 damage whenever he hits. A lot of damage, especially coming from a pistol. Gets one down for 41. Packed another for 41. So they're just going to keep high ground here. There's no reason to give it up. It might be a little bit tempting to push that team, especially since you know who that is. They know that is TSM and Sentinels, and Dropped just got one down on the Sentinel side. TSM, I'm pretty sure, got one down, and a TSM member is down. So there's already three people downed over there. So it's a what is that, a 2v1 situation over there. But there's really no reason to give up high ground except for Dropped, because Dropped is a Pathfinder. Maybe a Wraith can do this because she has her Into the Void ability, but a Pathfinder should be doing the job that Dropped is doing right now. There's no reason for the Watson to give up high ground, and there's no reason for the Wraith to give up high ground. So that's where they're staying. But Dropped is just trying to get a different angle on everybody who's over here fighting. So he's not even get a full push, and he just hears somebody use a portal. So he's just gonna stare at this with the Peacekeeper. There's really no reason for them to push, especially considering that they were just fighting those two people over from where Dropped is right now, behind them. So if they push TSM and Sentinels right now, it's an easy fourth party on those two people who were pushing up originally. So we're just gonna have Dropped just trying to find an angle, not push any closer, just finding an angle. If he can't find one, he can automatically just use his grapple ability and then go all the way back up top. So this is a perfect play by Dropped. You don't lose anything, and the only thing that could really happen is you gain an extra kill or some extra damage.
Oh wait, what the fuck? 43 crack.
We're calling out what's happening.
We gotta get a move on, gentlemen.
Just one Wraith portaling back and forth, just hoping she doesn't get hit.
Do I just go kill this kid?
And once again, you have Wraith and Watson with the air superiority just checking up on the Pathfinder going down. Drop just pushing in. Does 8 damage with his Peacekeeper.
He didn't take
Uses her Into the Void. Gets behind this little rock here.
He's dead.
94 to the head, and it's perfect. I mean, you can't ask for an easier kill. And there's really not much to coach about that. It's just more or less, like I said before, if you have this kind of comp setup, just let your Pathfinder push. If you're not playing Pathfinder, you want the kill, just let the Pathfinder get it. Just let him do what he does best. And just get in and out of situations, be able to get an easy kill. Okay, so right now Rogue is just putting down shots at this guy, or this actually team. Liquid just pretty much wiped this no-name squad. And we have Dropped basically pushing.
Bro, they're literally two. This is their teammate.
Full ending.
45 crack.
Get some really good hits on some people. Again, just calling out, dropping a thermite, hoping that can eat them out.
Arcing the top so we can run.
He's alternator me.
Alternator. Disruptor, so he's just gonna try and get level, try and get some high ground.
45 purple on the
other. 45.
Nice.
Even though Dropped isn't getting any kills right now, he's doing a lot of really good damage. His callouts are great. His positioning is forcing people in and out of their own positioning, and he just grapples on out of there. So even though Dropped didn't really do a lot of like damage for himself, that's like a lot of self-gain damage, it really helped the team about like just being able to get people down and just get them out of that position that could really F them over when they're trying to rotate into the next zone. So right here is for end game. They're gonna pop the zip line to be able to get high ground, and that's another thing that I see a lot of Pathfinders do is just use your grapple, or sorry, your zip line as much as you possibly can. It's a lot of good hits onto that guy. Sui is able to clear him up and full end him. A Gibby is throwing an ult, a Gibby of all people. But just keep in mind, if you're playing a Pathfinder, use your zipline a lot. Don't save it for like the perfect moment or anything. It's kind of like an Overwatch thing if you guys have ever played Overwatch. If you save your ultimate for too long, it's just going to be hurting the team. Even if you don't get the full potential of the zipline out of like 12 uses, it's better than getting some good uses out of a 12 like uses of a zipline versus getting like 4 or 5 uses out of a zipline and using it to its full potential. Use your zipline as soon as you possibly can. And even just talking about this, we're at 60% for his next zipline. So this thing charges up extremely fast, and just use them as much as you possibly can.
I mean, do you want to play for roof? I'm down. Yeah, let's do it.
Smart play by Sweet, who basically says that. I mean, like I said before, we've already talked about the team comps and what everybody uses, so everybody knows that somebody's gonna have a Pathfinder on their team, and that's more than likely what Energy has on their team. They usually have a Pathfinder within Energy Dizzy. So if they hold this high ground on top of their own building, let Huskers hold down the high ground, this is exactly what's gonna happen.
No! Kill them! They're dead.
Insane hit on Dizzy. One tapped them.
Nice.
They're able to crouch down, get the heals off. Huskers is able to do his own thing downstairs.
90 crack.
Get a 90 hit.
8 red. He's lit.
Insane hits, insane damage. Huskers has a self-res. He's going to res himself.
Playing roof.
Sweet is the only one down.
It's 36 red, Gib.
36.
Nice.
And since Huskers is resing himself, They're just gonna let Sweet
go.
die, full die. They're just gonna let him die. Make sure that Dropped is able to cover Huskers, and Dropped has an insane discipline right now. He's not pushing to go get a kill. He is holding down this position because he has high ground. He's allowing Huskers to be able to full heal, and it's just the best play possible. All right, so this seems to be the final zone.
Yeah,
Got the Peacekeeper out.
Come on.
Comms are up.
He's outside. 110.
110.
Dead. Good job.
It's an easy kill. 2v1.
There we go, baby.
Easy kill.
There we fucking go. Holy shit.
So something I want to touch on really quickly, because I wasn't really able to explain it well, is that they always have one person below and two people on top. That's almost the exact like setup that they always have. We saw it in Thunderdome. We saw it when they were in the building between Thunderdome and the Final Circle, and we saw it in Final Circle where there's two on top, one on bottom. So that way they can hold a position. Say if the zone was completely converging on that one house, right? If you have somebody below and two on top, there can't be a team that can just rush the bottom and easily get that without contestment, right? So they basically have a Watson set up all downstairs with her ult, with her nodes and everything like that. So it's really hard to push into the bottom layer. And surprisingly, I was genuinely surprised that the Wraith was actually on the bottom and that the Watson and the Pathfinder were on top. So with that said, they always had a position to be able to see high ground and low ground at the same time without any contestment. So that way, even though Sweet died, he gave them a lot of information, was able to get the Gibby down, and there was only one person left, which was the Bangalore. So it's an easy picking at that point. So by letting Dropped staying on high ground, Watson is able to self-heal and then full heal herself. So then it's a 2v1 situation between those two and the Bangalore, and at that point it's an easy clap, it's an easy GG. Let's see what this looks like. We have Dropped coming in with 1500 damage, Huskers 0 kills, 700, basically 800 damage, and then Sweet coming in with 1300 damage and 5 kills. So it was a 10 kill game. It actually wasn't that bad. It was just a really smart play by what Dropped did the entire game, just holding high ground. If he needed to, he can always hold low ground too, just because he can get up to high ground a lot easier than like a Watson or a Wraith. If he saw like a little rat, a little straggler, a little solo player going about or whatever around their positioning and basically threatening them whenever they need to rotate, he can always just go down and then just kill them. And if he needs any aerial support, they already have Watson and Wraith always on the high ground, just basically covering him from any kind of third parties, or letting them know, or letting Drop know if there's going to be a third party coming onto him, so he could just grapple out of there and just go get back and get high ground. So the main thing to really take away from this gameplay is the team comp and knowing what the team comp can do, and holding high ground at all times possible with 2 on top and 1 on bottom, so you have both base and aerial control of your area. It's just the best way to play. And if you want more of an in-depth Pathfinder analysis, I did NRG Dizzy like I said before, and he was playing solos, so you could really see how a Pathfinder really moves throughout the entire map and where he plays and where he doesn't. And if you guys saw anything in this gameplay that I forgot to mention, please leave it in the comment section below. I always like to talk with you guys both in the comments and on Reddit, so just let me know how to improve on the video, how to improve on my analysis on every player and everything like that. So guys, please comment, subscribe. Thank you guys for watching this video. See ya. Bye.